हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आप सभी का हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल केमसाइक्लोपीडिया में बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। आज हम सॉल्यूशंस एंड कॉलिगेटिव प्रॉपर्टीज का सेकेंड लेक्चर लेके आए हैं और आज के लेक्चर में हम लोग कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ सॉल्युबिलिटी डिस्कस करेंगे। वी विल बी डूइंग सॉल्युबिलिटी ऑफ सॉलिड इन लिक्विड, सॉल्युबिलिटी ऑफ गैस इन लिक्विड, व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स व्हिच अफेक्ट सॉल्युबिलिटी, हेनरीज लॉ एंड न्यूमेरिकल्स बेस्ड ऑन हेनरीज लॉ। So now let us start with solubility. Solubility is the concentration of saturated solution, or we can also define solubility as the solubility of solute is its amount per unit volume of saturated solution. So now let us first understand the meaning of saturated solution. Suppose इसको आसान भाषा में समझाने के लिए हम लोग ने एक एग्जांपल लिया है. Let us consider one container and it contains known amount of water. Let's say इसमें around 50 ml water है और इसमें हम लोग शुगर ऐड कर रहे हैं. Let's say हम लोग ने पहले 1 ग्राम शुगर ऐड कर दिया, ठीक है, और उसको स्टर कर दिया तो क्या होगा? डिसॉल्व हो जाएगा, राइट. हमने और 1 ग्राम शुगर ऐड कर दिया और उसको स्टर कर दिया, क्या हो जाएगा? डिसॉल्व हो जाएगा. If we keep on repeating this, then sugar will also keep on dissolving in it. After one particular point, the added sugar will not be dissolved in a solution. And next उसके बाद जब हम लोग शुगर ऐड करते हैं तो वो solution क्या करेगा? That sugar cannot be dissolved in the solution, rather it gets settled or precipitate at the base. That solution is called as saturated solution. So saturated solution means it is a solution which is obtained when we add maximum amount of solute that can be added in a specified amount of solvent, and the concentration of that solution is called as solubility. Understood? So solubility and saturated solution, these two concepts clear with you? So अब देखो next, solubility of solid solute in liquid solvent. The solubility of solid in liquid at any temperature is defined as the maximum amount of solid solute in grams that can be dissolved in 100 grams of liquid to form saturated solution at that temperature. Okay, so we have to understand that solubility depends at the temperature. Now we will do factors affecting solubility of solid in liquid. पहला very important factor, nature of solute and the solvent. In general, solid solute dissolves in a liquid which is chemically similar to it. That means it is based on the principle that like dissolves like. It implies that polar solute is soluble in polar solvent and non-polar solute is soluble in non-polar solvent. For example, NaCl, which is a polar solute, it gets dissolved in a polar solvent like water. Similarly, non-polar solutes like naphthalene, anthracene, they are soluble in non-polar solvents. Now let us see the explanation for the solubility. For ionic compounds being dissolved in a polar solvents, the solubility is an account of the fact that there are strong electrostatic forces of attraction between the ions of the crystal and the polar solvent molecule, and the negative ions are being attracted by the positive poles of the solvent molecules and the positive ions are being attracted by the negative poles of the solvent molecule. Now let us understand this by having the example of dissolution of NaCl in water. Okay, so ये NaCl है. NaCl क्या है? पोलर सोल्यूट है ना. So NaCl will get dissolved into Na plus ion and Cl minus ion, and water is a polar solvent. So देखो, water has a structure like this. ये ऑक्सीजन है. Now this oxygen is more electronegative, that is why it is a partial negative. Hydrogen, as it is lesser electronegative than oxygen, that's why it is having partial positive charge. So here opposite charges are getting separated and that is known as dipole. So water is a dipole. Understood? So these ions which are formed from this compound gets attracted by the opposite pole of the water molecule. जैसे, so this O is having partial negative, so this is a positively charged and this is a negatively charged ion. So there is a attraction between this ion and the solvent molecules like this. So solvent molecules surrounds these ions, right? In the same way, the Cl minus ions which are there are being attracted by the positive end of the water molecule. So these interactions are known as ion dipole interactions, right? So यहाँ पे यही बोल रहा है कि negative ions are being attracted by the positive pole of the solid molecules and the positive ions are being attracted by the negative poles of the solid molecule. Let us see the image. See, this is a positive ion and it is being attracted by the negative poles of water molecule. This is a water molecule, oxygen, right, hydrogen, like this. And these interactions are known as ion dipole interaction. Now here water is surrounding the ions, so this process is known as solvolysis. And here as water is acting as a solvent, this process is known as hydration. So students, ये attractive interactions है, and we all know that in attractive interaction energy gets released, and the energy released in the hydration is called as energy of hydration or enthalpy of hydration. So in hydration, energy released is called as heat of hydration or enthalpy of hydration, right? And it is having negative sign. Thus water molecule pulls the ions of the crystals apart and the electrostatic forces of attraction existing between the ions of the crystal are cut off. Further, these ions are surrounded by the water molecules, which acts as a sheath or envelope around the ions, and that prevents the recombination of ions, and the ions thus moving freely in the solution are said to be hydrated. It may be mentioned that energy is required for the splitting of ionic compound into ions, and that energy is called as lattice energy. So let us understand here the concept of lattice energy. So देखो NaCl है, NaCl जब हम लोग ऐड करते हैं उसका स्टेट क्या रहता है, सॉलिड रहता है ना. This NaCl has to be broken down into its constituent ions. So process of breaking of 1 mole of ionic compound into its constituent ions in the gaseous state is known as lattice enthalpy. So lattice enthalpy is energy required, and hydration energy is the energy released. Understood? So energy is given out when ions gets hydrated. अब देखो, अब कोई भी कंपाउंड सॉल्युबल होना है तब क्यों होगा. सो यहाँ पे ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेटमेंट है कि व्हेन ए सब्सटेंस डिसॉल्व्स if hydration energy is greater than the lattice energy, and in case of non-polar compounds they are being dissolved in a non-polar solvents, the solubility is due to the solute solvent and the solvent solvent interaction. So now we will start with effect of temperatures. In that we will be studying solubility curves. Solubility curve is a plot of solubility versus temperature. Okay. So on the basis of effect of temperature on solubility in water, the various ionic compounds are divided into 3 categories. Those whose solubility increases continuously with increase in temperature. Examples of this category are NaNO3, KNO3, NaCl, KCl. अब देखो, in case of KNO3, solubility will increase with increase in temperature. ये NaNO3 का solubility curve है. इनकी solubility क्या हो रही है, बढ़ रही है with increase in temperature. And if you see their solubility curve, there is no break in between. They are continuous. So all these solubility curves, no, they are called as continuous solubility curves. And the reason for this behavior is that the process of dissolution for this type of compound is endothermic. So in chemical equilibrium, we have learned that as temperature increases, equilibrium will shift in the direction of endothermic process. So देखो यहाँ पे solute plus solvent, it requires heat and their dissolution here is endothermic. That's why जैसे हम लोग टेम्परेचर बढ़ाएंगे इक्विलिब्रियम किधर शिफ्ट होगा, एंडोथर्मिक डायरेक्शन में शिफ्ट होगा. दैट मींस हियर वो फॉरवर्ड डायरेक्शन में शिफ्ट होगा और मोर एंड मोर अमाउंट ऑफ सोल्यूट जो है वो डिसॉल्व होगा. नेक्स्ट, लेट अस डू द सेकंड कैटेगरी, दोस सब्सटेंसेस whose solubility decreases with increase in temperature. Example include cerium sulfate, lithium carbonate, sodium carbonate monohydrate. See, for cerium sulfate, this is the solubility curve. It is decreasing. It has downside trend. Understood? Reason for that is process of dissolution is exothermic. सही है? Now we will see the third category. For those substances whose solubility does not increase or decrease continuously. Their examples of this category are CaCl2, 6H2O, Na2SO4 10H2O. These are the discontinuous solubility curve. And in first two cases A and B, they are continuous solubility curves. ऐसा क्यों होता है? Because when we heat them, no, substance gets changed from one polymorphic form to another polymorphic form. Example, in case of NH4NO3, it converts from alpha form to beta form, or they may convert from one hydrated form to another hydrated form. Like in case of CaCl2 6H2O, upon heating, it converts into CaCl2 4H2O. Again, if we heat it, then it converts to CaCl2 2H2O. Or it may happen that it can convert from hydrated form to anhydrous form. Like in case of Na2SO4 10H2O, this is hydrated, now it has got completely unhydrated. So here is substance is changing from one form to another form, and that is why we get discontinuous solubility curves. This is the one of the representation which shows the discontinuous solubility curves. Let's say in case of NH4NO3, if you heat it, its solubility will increase with increase in temperature. Okay, now from this temperature onwards, alpha form is being converted into beta form. That's why we are getting discontinuous solubility curve. देखो ये केस में यहाँ पे CaCl2 जो 6H2O था, इसके बाद क्या हो गया, 6 से 4H2O हो गया, फिर यहाँ पे 4 से 2H2O हो गया. Now in case of Na2SO4, its solubility will keep on increasing up to this temperature. Now from this temperature, it has got unhydrated completely. So all water crystallization gets lost, and then solubility starts decreasing with increase in temperature. And this temperature at which one form of a substance is getting converted into another form, that temperature is called as transition temperature. So note, curve of solubility against that temperature is called as solubility curve, and the pressure has very little effect on the solubility of solid in a liquid, because solids and liquids are highly incompressible, right? This we know. Now we will see solutions of gases in liquids. Okay, so let us start with solubility of gas in liquid. It is the volume of gas in ml that can be dissolved in unit volume of liquid or 1 ml of liquid to form its saturated solution at the temperature of experiment under the pressure of 1 atmosphere. Now देखो, solubility is what? Solubility is the concentration only, no? So we can also express this in terms of molarity, mole fraction. So now we will see factors affecting solubility of gas in liquid. पहला factor है effect of temperature. It decreases with increase in temperature because reason क्या रहेगा? Dissolution of gas is exothermic process. Gas plus solvent, it will form solution and heat gets released, है ना? तो उसका forward process जो रहेगा वो रहेगा exo, and जो backward process रहेगा वो endothermic. इसलिए जब हम लोग टेम्परेचर बढ़ाएंगे, इक्विलिब्रियम विल शिफ्ट इन बैकवर्ड डायरेक्शन. जो भी गैस डिसॉल्व है वो बाहर निकलेगा, मतलब गैस की सॉल्युबिलिटी कम हो जाएगी. बट यहाँ पे एक्सेप्शन है. सॉल्युबिलिटी ऑफ स्पेरिंगली soluble salt such as hydrogen and inert gases increases slightly with increase in temperature, especially in non-aqueous solvents such as hydrocarbons, alcohols and acetone. This you remember. So देखो, ये हमारा सॉल्वेंट है और उसके अंदर सोल्यूट डिसॉल्व है, मतलब this is forming solution. So these are the gas particles are dissolved in this liquid, and these are the undissolved particles. मतलब जितना मैक्सिमम ये लिक्विड गैसियस सॉल्यूट को डिसॉल्व कर सकता था उतना उसने कर लिया है. This amount of gaseous solute cannot be dissolved by the solvent. मतलब ये जो solution है ना स्टूडेंट, इसको क्या कहेंगे हम लोग? Saturated solution. And there is a equilibrium between this dissolved gas and this undissolved gas. And ये solution का जो concentration है उसको क्या कहेंगे? Solubility. It has observed that if we increase pressure above the solution, then more and more amount of gas gets dissolved, and मतलब उसका solubility क्या होता है? बढ़ता है. So it has been concluded that with increasing pressure of gas above the solution, solubility of gas in liquid increases, and this is called as Henry's law. So at constant temperature, solubility of gas in a liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of gas present above the surface of liquid or solution. इसका बेस्ट एप्लीकेशन है स्टूडेंट्स जो हम लोग ने अपने रेगुलर लाइफ में देखा है, दैट इज जो हम लोग जो कोल्ड ड्रिंक्स पीते हैं ना, लेट्स से पेप्सी हो गया, कोका कोला हो गया, मतलब उसमें CO2 गैस जो रहता है ना, वो हाई प्रेशर पे उसको डिजोल्व करते हैं। तो जैसे हम लोग प्रेशर बढ़ाएंगे तो मोर एंड मोर अमाउंट ऑफ CO2 गैस विल गेट डिजोल्व इन दैट। जब हम लोग बॉटल को ओपन करते हैं, इसका मतलब क्या करते हैं, प्रेशर कम करते हैं। इसका मतलब अगर प्रेशर कम होगा तो सॉल्युबिलिटी विल डिक्रीज, तो मोर एंड मोर अमाउंट ऑफ गैस विल एस्केप फ्रॉम द सोल्यूशन, इसलिए वो बजिंग साउंड आता है। सो दिस इज अ ब्यूटीफुल एप्लीकेशन ऑफ हेनरीज लॉ, है ना। सो mass of the gas dissolved is directly proportional to pressure above the solution. If you want to remove the proportionality sign, we need to introduce constant, and that is called as K. So where m is the mass of a gas dissolved in a unit volume of solvent, and P is the pressure of gas in equilibrium with the solid, and this K is a constant of proportionality whose value depend upon the nature of gas present in the equilibrium with the liquid. So m क्या है, solubility. This is the formula which we are going to use in numericals. Now Henry's law क्या कहता है कि mass of a gas is equal to K into P. मतलब can I say this is the equation of y is equals to mx type. So if you plot this kind of equation, y versus x, then this line will pass through origin and the slope of line will be m. The same thing is happening here. See here. These are the curves passing through origin. We all know that m is equal to tan theta. So one of the important part of this is, if the solubility of gas is known at one particular pressure, then solubility of gas can be calculated at another pressure by using this relation, m1 upon m2 is equals to p1 upon. समझा? So where m1 is the solubility of gas at pressure p1 and m2 is the solubility of gas at pressure p2. Now when a mixture of two or more non-reacting gases is brought in contact with a solvent, each constituent gas dissolved in a proportion of its own partial pressure, and Henry's law can be applied to each individual gas independent of the presence of another gas. So if we use a mole fraction of a gas in a solution as a measure of its solubility, then this law can be stated as mole fraction of gas in solution is directly proportional to the partial pressure of gas in vapor phase. So mole fraction is proportional to pressure. So mole fraction को अगर proportionality से हटाएंगे तो we have to introduce a constant. If we rearrange, we will get this, and 1 by k dash is a kh, and this kh is called as Henry's law constant, and it is different for a different gases at a definite temperature or a given solvent. ठीक है? So this is another expression for the Henry's law. So by now we have learned two expressions for Henry's law, that solubility is equals to k into p, or we can say p is equals to kh into x. Understood? तो ये सेम कर्व है, इसका स्लोप क्या रहेगा, kh रहेगा. Now we will see characteristics of Henry's constant. It is a function of nature of gas, and greater the value of Henry's constant, lower the solubility of gas. ये कैसा आया देखो, फॉर्मूला क्या बोलता है, P is equal to kh into x, है ना, मतलब x will be equal to P upon kh. मतलब x और kh क्या है, इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल है ना, मतलब हायर द वैल्यू ऑफ kh लोअर इज द solubility. समझा? Solubility and temperature of gas be inversely proportional, so this implies that kh will increase with increase in temperature. Now limitations of Henry's law. Henry's law will be applicable only if the following conditions are satisfied. Pressure should be low and temperature should be high. That means the gas should behave like an ideal gas, and gas should not undergo compound formation with the solvent or association or dissociation with the solvent. It is not applicable in case of dissolution of ammonia in water because it undergoes compound formation followed by dissociation. Like in ammonia plus water, it forms NH4OH, and that NH4OH will dissociate into NH4 plus and OH minus. And it is not applicable for the dissolution of HCl gas in water because it undergoes dissociation into H plus and Cl minus. These are the limitations of Henry's law. Now let us do some numericals on this. Solubility of N2 gas in water at 25 degrees and 1 bar pressure is 6.85 into 10 raised to minus 4 moles per liter. तो उसकी solubility दी है, हमें पूछा है Henry's law constant, तो हम लोग पहला एक्सप्रेशन यूज करेंगे. क्या करेंगे, solubility is equals to K into P. तो P दिया, solubility दी है अपने को. नेक्स्ट पूछा है molarity of N2 gas dissolved in water under the atmospheric condition when the partial pressure of N2 in atmosphere is this. So molarity मतलब concentration. कैसा करेंगे, क्या क्या दिया आपने को वो लिखेंगे पहले. So given data, solubility of N2 कितना है 6.85 into 10⁻⁻⁴ moles per liter. प्रेशर दिया है 1 bar. पार्शियल प्रेशर ऑफ N2 दिया है 0.75 bar. तो पहला है solubility is equals to KH into P. So KH is equals to solubility upon P. तो हम लोगों ने KH मिल गया. Now नेक्स्ट हमको क्या पूछा है, अभी उन्होंने पार्शियल प्रेशर दिया है, केज तो हम लोगों ने पहले निकाल दिया है ना, ये वाला केज का वैल्यू यूज करेंगे. पार्शियल प्रेशर दिया है, बोलते हैं सॉल्युबिलिटी निकालो, हो गया, समझ में आया. तो केएच इंटू पी, तो केएच हम लोगों ने इधर निकाला और उन्होंने पार्शियल प्रेशर दिया है. ठीक है, तो ये पार्शियल प्रेशर पे कितना सॉल्युबिलिटी होगा पूछ रहा है, तो मल्टीप्लाई करके आंसर निकाल. यूनिट कैलकुलेशन इज मस्ट. नेक्स्ट, हेनरीज लॉ कांस्टेंट ऑफ methyl bromide is 0.159 moles per liter per bar at 25 degrees. What is the solubility of methyl bromide in water at 25 degrees and the pressure of 130 mm of Hg? So क्या क्या दिया आपने को, KH दिया, प्रेशर दिया, प्रेशर कितना है 130 mm of Hg है. इसको एटमॉस्फेयर में कन्वर्ट करेंगे तो इसको कैसे करते हैं देख लो, कन्वर्जन फैक्टर्स देख लो. 1 atmosphere is equals to 760 mm of Hg. This you remember. 1 atmosphere is equals to 1.01325 bar. Clear? Or I can say 1 bar is equals to 0.98 atmosphere. You can make a note of this. Okay? So mm of Hg से atmosphere से जाना है तो क्या करना पड़ेगा, 760 से डिवाइड करना पड़ेगा. तो आ गया अपना आंसर atmosphere. उसको 1.013 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो हमको आ गया बार में, क्योंकि KH हमारा किस में है, बार में है ना, इसलिए हमको प्रेशर को भी बार्स में कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा. सॉल्युबिलिटी पूछा है तो सॉल्युबिलिटी इज इक्वल्स टू KH into P at 0.159 into प्रेशर. तो देखो बार बार कैंसिल हो गया, तो आंसर किसमें आएगा, मोल्स पर लीटर में, हो गया. थर्ड वन, इफ नाइट्रोजन इज बबल्ड थ्रू वाटर एट 293 Kelvin, हाउ मेनी मिलीमोल्स ऑफ N2 gas would dissolve in 1 liter of water? नंबर ऑफ मिलीमोल्स ऑफ N2 gas पूछा है. Assume that N2 exerts the partial pressure of 0.987 bar. तो उन्होंने पार्शियल प्रेशर दिया है, हेनरीज लॉ कांस्टेंट दिया है. ठीक है, सो देखो कैसा करेंगे. लेट्स राइट गिवन डेटा. पार्शियल प्रेशर ऑफ N2 इज गिवन एज 0.987 बार. हेनरी लॉ कांस्टेंट दे हैव गिवन एज 76.48 किलो बार. तो किलो बार को क्या लिखेंगे, 10⁻³ लिखेंगे, है ना. वॉल्यूम ऑफ H2O कितना दिया, 1 लीटर. नेक्स्ट, 1 liter of H2O has 55.55 moles of water. ये कैसे आया देखो, देखो स्टूडेंट्स, 1 liter water बोला है. 1 liter water मतलब 1000 ml of water. Density of water is 1 gram per ml. So mass of water is equal to density of water into volume of water. Density of water कितना है, 1 gram per ml. Volume of water कितना है, 1000 ml. ml gets cancelled. Now it will become 1000 grams. That is the mass of water. What is molar mass of water, students? It will be 18 gram per mole. Therefore, number of moles of water in 1 liter is equal to mass of water upon molar mass. That will be equal to 1000 upon 18. This will become 55.55 moles. Samjha? This is how this 55.55 came. Next, according to Henry's law, अभी हम लोग यहाँ पे Henry's law का दूसरा एक्सप्रेशन यूज करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे हमें क्या पूछा है, नंबर ऑफ मिलीमोल्स पूछा है. सो इससे हम लोग पहला मोल फ्रैक्शन निकालेंगे, फिर मोल फ्रैक्शन से हम लोग नंबर ऑफ मोल्स निकालेंगे, फिर नंबर ऑफ मिलीमोल्स निकालेंगे. दिस इज अ स्ट्रेटेजी. सो मोल फ्रैक्शन ऑफ नाइट्रोजन इज इक्वल्स टू partial pressure of nitrogen upon Henry's law constant for nitrogen. तो partial pressure of nitrogen दिया, Henry's law constant दिया, this will become mole fraction. This, so mole fraction का फॉर्मूला क्या है, mole fraction of nitrogen is equals to number of moles of nitrogen upon total number of moles. तो यहाँ पे नाइट्रोजन है और वाटर है, करेक्ट ना. So if you add them, you will get number of millimoles of nitrogen as 0.716 millimoles. Okay, so students आज के लिए बस इतना ही. Just practice all numericals. We will be meeting in our next lecture with more information. If you like our efforts, please like the video, share it with your friends and subscribe the channel. Thank you all for listening. See you all in next lecture.